Hello everyone, welcome back to our kitchen, and this is it. This is the last time you're gonna see me standing here, somewhere up there. So I had this place for a year. It was a year lease, and it's up, and I'm not renewing it because I'm moving out of New York. If you've been watching for a while, you've seen me in just countless different kitchens. I've probably got the record for most kitchens used in a cooking YouTube show. If there is a record, if there is, I just said it. Hello. Moving countries, changing up kitchens, what's the deal? Jamie, why don't we just back up? Let's recap. I should get comfortable. Okay. So I started to make Anti-Chef in 2017 in Toronto, Canada. Crazy. What is the difference between something being chopped and something being diced? Is this chopped? Is this diced? So in 2018, myself, Christy, wanted a change of scenery, and she caught wind of a job opportunity in Brussels, Belgium. So we had a heart-to-heart and ultimately decided, apply for it, try to get it, because that would be really cool if we lived in Europe for a bit, live the European dream. I'm just assuming that I'm coming with, because why not? And then she got it, and then I did come with. Belgian waffle. How long does this go on for? So I'm just gonna keep moving around here. Sugarcoating it. Of course, that was like the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Quitting my job, working in film and television and visual effects at the time, so I was leaving that behind, along with everything and everyone, and purging all our stuff. Where did everything go? It's all gone. All of it. Blank slate, we're moving out to Europe, starting from scratch. Except for the few hundred YouTube subscribers I had. I was bringing those with me, continue to make Anti-Chef in this Belgian kitchen, big window in the kitchen that looked out to the street, and the street looked up at me filming, so that was kind of awkward. We were living there for around a year in total, just the best memories. Then it came to an end. So it's just me and Christy. And the little Dinkle fairy. Christy's job was coming to an end. It was no more. So Belgian dream was over. But then she was quickly hired, now in London. So we moved out of Belgium to the UK the day of the COVID lockdowns. That moment in history, it was a freaky time. Didn't know what a lockdown was. Belgium was locking down, London was locking down, and our train was the last train out of Belgium before all of that. So long, Brussels.
We are unable to offer any catering service on board today. The bars are closed and there will be no service. I wish you a pleasant journey.
Okay, so now we're living in London during a period in time where you can't really do a whole lot besides stay indoors and occasionally peek your beak out. There's nobody here. I kept that Anti-Chef, I kept it going and passed the 10,000 subscriber mark, and I started Jamie and Julia then. Also, at the same time, Christy's job was on very shaky ground. It was a victim and then a casualty of the pandemic. It was no more. So we had some choices to make, and we were thinking, hey, we are probably gonna have to go back to where we came from, good old Canada. Not before Christy was hired for yet another gig, another job here in New York City. You can't see it. It's right behind me, right there. You're starting to see a trend here. She took a risk with the career, and then it led to one thing, and then it led to another, and then it led to another. There's this lost weekend part of our lives. That's what I call it, at least, where we had left London and we were living in Ontario, Canada, temporarily with family and just kind of all over, really, while we waited for our visas to get approved so that we could come to the States. And it took longer than expected. just complications with COVID and politics and yada, yada, yada. So we just had to be on hold for half a year while we waited for that to happen. We didn't really know what was going on, so it was kind of just like a lot of unknowns and hurry up and wait. Anyway, she was working remotely and I was still doing anti-chef in whatever kitchen I had access to at the time. And yeah, it was that one. Anyway, it all worked out. We finally got approved and we moved to the big city in 2021. I can confidently say that this is my favorite place to be. I love it here, and I felt like I belonged instantly. The vibe, the things you can do and see, the people you can meet, I love it all, everything. And I think we approached living here a little differently than we did with Europe, where it was more of a long-term situation. Like, we can see us staying, and it's close enough proximity that if you ever want to visit back home in Canada, no problem. And we had no plans on leaving. I hope everyone's okay. Christy's working and I'm now filming Anti-Chef in the kitchen of our one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan. This time though, the clock is ticking with Anti-Chef. There's a time limit because we had our visas, but I'm waiting on a work permit. And once I get that, things are gonna be different. Gonna go back to work, try to find something doing like what I used to do in Toronto, in visual effects or something like that. And I'd probably table Anti-Chef, put it off to the side, do it occasionally. So I had like one last push to make something of Anti-Chef. Like around 30,000 subscribers at the time, so there's a little work to be done here if you really wanted to turn this into something that you can do as a job, because I just love doing it and I love making the videos and cooking and doing both at the same time. So eye of the tiger, full throttle, till that work permit comes in, just get it done. Filming and cooking and filming, rinse and repeat, and cross your fingers. And you know what? I am very alarmed at the pig nipples on the skin. So in 2022, I guess you could say the algorithm found me. And then in turn, I guess you found me through the cause and effect, right? And this Anti-Chef little thingy turned into something real. Through all the setbacks and countries and circumstances and kitchens, and yeah, this was a full-time thing now. Thank God, hallelujah. So last year I did a video very similar to this, hopefully not too similar, where I told you a double whammy of really big news, right? One was that I was moving to the studio, have a separate kitchen, more space. Also, we were expecting. Someone was pregnant. Spoiler alert, not me. Christy and I are having a baby. There he is. Here's the big news since last year's big news. Our little guy came very early. I guess he just couldn't wait any longer. He wanted to be here. He had to stay at the NICU in the hospital for over 100 days. And if you're not familiar with the NICU or what the NICU is, I wasn't either. I had to go through it to fully understand it. But yeah, it's an intensive care unit for babies. It's full of real life heroes and angels doing the most amazing work possible. And also a very difficult, challenging thing to go through. At the same time, you're continuing to live your life while the baby is somewhere else, which is weird. And I mean, Christy really rose up to the challenge. She was there every single day through thick and thin, always by his side like a true hero mom. I was there too. At the same time, I was still making the show, so that was challenging. Also, you gotta keep working. So anywho, it all worked out in the end. He finally came home and we are overjoyed. Yeah, we got through it. We got through it. So at the beginning of this year, if you had asked me, I had told you, I'm never leaving this place. I love it too much. I'm comfortable here, New York for life. And then things change fast and you go through something traumatic and it makes you stop and reevaluate everything that's going on in your life. start looking at the bigger picture and all the little variables, and we have our own little family here, but we are away from our own families. So New York is incredible. I know that. It's also very expensive. You're not getting a lot of bang for your buck here when it comes to like space, really. The visa situation is another thing. We got to go through a process every year or so. So that's a thing. That can be easy or difficult, depends. Anyway, we got all those things going on. At the same time, honestly, we really just miss Canada too. Can't imagine why. Needless to say, we're moving back home to where it all started, from Toronto. Yeah, bought a house with a little more space, got a new studio kitchen lined up, and I'm leaving the city that I love with all my heart. I don't want to go, but at the same time, I do kind of want to go. I don't know, it's kind of like mixed feelings, That's all she wrote. Goodbye. It's very echoey in here. I hope everyone is okay one last time. See, the hospital's right there. That explains a lot. Everything that I own is in this trailer right here. Hello everyone, welcome to my home. Please make yourself comfortable.